into your red corner, weighing in at 83.3 kilograms, Alexandre Macedo! And despite weighing in at 82 kilos, running at Shockwave MMA, Chris Payne! Have a great fight, gentlemen.
This middleweight contest sees Alexandre Macedo from the Dynamite Gym in France fighting out of the red corner, taking on Chris Payne from the Shockwave Gym here in Ipswich. Alexandre has a record of 1 loss and Chris Payne a record of 1 win. Good entry with the hands from the Frenchman into a fairly substantial double leg pickup. Turning the opponent back towards the cage, immediately looking to work the body. Very nice opening effort from the Frenchman. Tough to see from this angle what Chris Payne is working for here. Guard is opening every so often. And some posture now. With some good ground and pound, he wants to keep the pressure on, control those ankles. Chris Payne doing a good job of creating some distance and standing back up. Immediately looking to get on those jabs and circular punches. Push kick to the knee. Always an interesting technique. Oh, body kick from the Frenchman. It landed, but he took himself off balance in the process. So, positions reversed here from where we found ourselves a moment ago. Whizzer on the left arm for Alexandre Macedo. See if he looks to push that hand through for a triangle attempt. The guard is staying firmly locked right now. Double overhook, high up. Chris Payne needs to free his hands. Pushing on the face is a good idea. Really give your opponent something else to think about as much as creating that disconnect. Give you the space to work. Referee Garth Harriman just giving a brief warning for passivity. I'm not sure what kind of guard the Frenchman has. He doesn't particularly looking to be opening his guard too much. It almost looks as though he's really straightening his legs and easing the body of Chris Payne to keep him locked in place. Well, Chris Payne has moved Alexandre Macedo over to the corner against the cage where we found ourselves a moment ago. So it truly is vice versa here in the first round. 10-second clacker. Will be tough for the judges to call this one. I would possibly think perhaps it may go the way of the Frenchman. He scored the more definitive takedown and a few definitive punches, and really the opportunity for Chris Payne to get on top came from a slip off a kick. It wasn't a definitive executed takedown like the Frenchman. Both guys looking very, very calm. Always nice to see a good, calm fighter, especially when they just don't have that much experience. Only 1 fight apiece for these guys, as we mentioned earlier. There's a tiny weight advantage for Alexandre Macedo from Montpellier. Nothing too significant. I would think that height advantage is going to play a slightly bigger part.
Round 2.
Lots of gloves to get our second round underway. Chris Payne in the black RDX shorts, facing Alexandre Macedo in the black shorts with the knee sleeve. Early clinch battle. Chris Payne looking to force his opponent up against the cage, but some good knees coming in from Alexandre Macedo. Got to be careful of that knee coming up the middle towards the head. We've seen a couple of point deductions already for that tonight, but a big squeeze on the standing guillotine from the Frenchman. Chris Payne doing a good job of keeping calm. What he's got to do is get his body off to the side. If he stays in straight lines, he could be in trouble. They've fallen to a half guard here. It's not ideal control of the body for the Frenchman, but he is deep on that neck. At least one of those arteries is going to be shut down here. Chris Payne doing a good job to get a hand in on the wrist, create that little bit of space. The Frenchman persisting here though. Absolutely insisting this guillotine is the way to go. Gonna have to be careful that lactic acid doesn't build up too much, and there's definitely some daylight now for Chris Payne as he passes through side control. Knees to the body, perfectly legal if he can get them off. Frenchman's doing a good job of crimping the hip back in, replacing guard, managing to sneak that knee through the space that those knee attempts left. Still persisting with that headlock though. Needs to either get a very solid underhook or look to climb back up. Really having his head stuck in the cage like this is going to limit his hip movement, because of course as you control your opponent's head, you control where their body can go. Fairly static progression here. If I was Chris Payne, I'd be thinking, let's keep his head pinned, let's frame on his face, let's get some posture, and let's really make him pay for thinking he can crank up my neck for 30 seconds of this round. But 10-second clackers coming in. Another round in the books here. Fight number 9 at the BCFA Night of Champions 2 from Trinity Park in Ipswich. My name is Josh Palmer, and we're watching Alexandre Macedo in the red corner take on Chris Payne in the blue corner.
Seconds up. Round 3.
So our third and final round here in this middleweight contest. Fairly even fight thus far. It's been a bit of a wrestling and clinch work and grappling affair. The knees have perhaps been the main significant strikes landed in these first 2 rounds. Macedo's going to have to be careful there as he looks to land those hammer fists to the body. He gives up the grip around his legs. The defensive wrestling really would have been the better option for him to concentrate there. So This is where we found ourselves at the end of the second, and it's where we find ourselves at the start of the third. Full guard for Alexandre Macedo. Chris Payne looking to do what he can from the top position. Really, this kind of guard battle is all about posture control. The man on top is looking to get his head up, thus allowing him to land some strikes and also keeping him out of danger of submission attempts. And on the bottom is looking to keep the posture broken so he can, in theory, attack the neck, the arms with greater ease. Chris Payne doing a very smart job in moving his opponent over towards his own corner. We can get a full range of instructions from his coaches. I'm sure the referee is perhaps thinking about calling for a stand-up. It's what the Frenchmen are preferring, but Kimura attempt from the Frenchman. Done a really good job of locking it up. Is he going to use it to sweep, or is he going to manage to get his hips out? Chris Payne doing the right thing, connecting his own hands together to shore up that grip. The Frenchman's really got to look to get his hips all the way underneath his opponent, but he gives it up. It did appear as though he did have a good grip on that arm, but oh, and he's going back to it now. Needs to look to shake his hip out, use his hip to move his own hand. Earthquaking, we call it. Use that kind of broken rhythm to free a grip. Any constant, continuous pressure is much, much easier for your opponent to anticipate and counter. The Frenchman still calling for a stand-up, but there was enough significant work for the fighters to stay on the ground. End of the third round. We may well see this go the way of Chris Payne, but that is in the hands of the judges. The story of that third round really was a good early takedown from Chris Payne and a fairly continuous opposition. No strikes of huge relevance landed by either fighter. Let's go into the ring to our MC to see what the judges have decided.
No, that's
That's right, just Photoshop it later. Yeah. Sticking them on.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner on points, fighting out of the blue corner, Chris Payne. Big round of applause for Alex Macedo, please.
Beautiful. Lovely. And then you guys want a shot?